I'm being told now that we're going to go live to Brown Grass Meadow, where it seems that JoeTriggered may have finally gotten himself in over his head. He's down to 218 hit points. It seems that today he's hired a couple of bodyguards. Those are the people you can see on the left in his group, but things are looking kind of grim. Joe is almost dead. Immortal Thug is going down. He's getting low. He's getting low. Immortal Thug was killed. Okay, it looks like Super Hands has gotten one of them now. They've traded 1 for 1. And Joe has managed to aggro the Terror Beaks. That's not a good sign for Joe and Team Triggered right now. Joe coming back in. It looks like the fighting is... Oh, and Team Triggered gets another. Joe doing some quick combat looting. Making sure to collect the gear of his fallen comrades. Joe appears to be trying to trade now. I don't know if that's the best time for this, Joe. There are enemies nearby, but let's see how those go. Too far away. Oh, and the enemies are back. We've got Arkansas 52. Joe continues to dally, looking around. Arkansas 52. Oh, and Super Hans has gone in. Super Hans is committed to the... Oh, and Arkansas is off his horse. Now, Arkansas is off his horse. This smells like a trap. And Arkansas, what the... Oh, he misses his snare charge. Arkansas... Oh, and there is the double-bladed Chaos Booter? Chaos Booter comes in. The bodyguards have sensed the trap, and they appear to be long gone. JoeTriggered bringing up the rear. Now remember, Joe is carrying the gear of Immortal Thug, who was killed in combat, and he wants to get that back into their hands, get the team geared back up as quickly as possible. Now, when you're in the black zone, one of the few safe places to stash your gear is here at the war camp. So they try. Oh, now they have traded each other, and they have broken the trade system. Oh, if things couldn't get worse. All right. JoeTriggered tries to trade with Cap Nada instead. And, oh, Arkansas is coming in from the southeast. He's back. The trade is canceled. Arkansas is coming in. Arkansas lands a snare charge. JoeTriggered is now trapped. And a wind wall. JoeTriggered is now running around. Oh, Arkansas totally misses a silence. And, oh, Joe found it funny. All right. Oh, and... Love Never Change. Love Never Change is chasing the crew on a T3 horse. Well, oh, and Joe is calling them weebs now, and Love Never Change is using his spin attack to no avail. Oh, and Joe calls out the spin to win. And mocks his enemies. Ooh, a refreshing sprint. Now, refreshing sprint, Arkansas misses another big snare charge, but oh, close. Refreshing sprint isn't an ability you see very often out here in the black zone. Usually people prefer to go with run, but maybe they don't have a healer. Anyway, of course, JoeTriggered now mere feet away from the protective barrier. At any point, JoeTriggered could decide to leave the combat zone, and he appears to just be interested in antagonizing Arkansas 52, who has burnt another refreshing sprint and a snare charge. Oh, and JoeTriggered has been stunned now, and he's taking a beating now. His horse is down to less than 20% health. And let's see, JoeTriggered's current weight, you can see it in the top right, is now at 65%. There's a good chance that if Joe is knocked off his mount, he will be encumbered. And he will not be... Oh, and Joe pulls out his signature line and tells them not to get triggered. But if Joe gets knocked off his mount, there is a good chance that he will be encumbered. And if you're encumbered, and it takes you 5 seconds to run back to the portal, your shield's not going to last that long, and you will die. So Joe's got to be careful here. His horse is, of course, regenerating health as he goes along. Oh, but he's been hit again by Arkansas, taunting him a little bit with the dance back. Refreshing sprint to a snare charge, which gets Joe and spin to win, which... Oh, Joe's been knocked inside. He is overweight. He is encumbered with the double dash and the sprint. And Joe is at the portal gate. Oh, and he gives a goodbye. And Joe is safe in Carleone once again. I must say, ladies and gentlemen, I really thought they had him there at the end, and I think Joe himself was probably a little bit nervous about that fight. Let's go back and look at some of the highlights.